南无满洲西利耶，南无苏西利耶，南无无达摩西耶娑婆。耶觉当作给出那罗将就巴度当的给足去，到给去年级别做那些，罗拉本节上也都把说。觉当作给出那罗将就巴度当的给足去，到给去年级别做那些，罗拉本节上也都把说。觉当作给出那罗将就巴度当的给足去，到给去年级别做那些，罗拉本节上也都把说。会给修行没多长，为了灵犀你得见把的，上天心都没得我，因为这个那他先到就罢休，不如让他们到拉干的呀，大呀，Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. And think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but for numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind mothers and sentient beings want happiness and do not want even the small suffering, due to mistakenly engaged in objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience any happiness but suffering. In our minds, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mothers and sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mothers and sentient beings were to have excellent happiness and its causes that are virtues. May they have excellent happiness and its causes. I'll cause them to have excellent happiness and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we generate compassion towards all suffering mothers sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if the bodies of all suffering mothers sentient beings were free from the entire class discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as pain, sickness, and harm caused by 4 elements. May their bodies be free from the discordant class. I'll free their bodies from the discordant class. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
이제 누가를 되게 많은 것이 지다 너도 사람 좀 나와 지금 또 다른 셔도 대신 너무나 신경을 쓰고 그래서 좀
How nice it would be if the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the entire class discordant with a completing virtue, such as the suffering of fear and all coarse and subtle negative discursive thoughts. May their minds be free from the discordant class. I'll free their minds from the discordant class. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
이제 누가는 이제 많은 막 지나서 막이 바타라 타라 좀 실제로 다시 지금 너무나 신경을 쓰고
How nice it would be if the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the entire class, discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as lying and all coarse and subtle negative speech. May their speech be free from the discordant class. I'll free their speech from the discordant class. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
이제 누가는 이제 만들어 무슨 비셔 그러면 되게 좀 다른 좀 어찌 좀 다르셔 대신 너무나 신경 쓰고
How nice it would be if the three doors of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the entire class, discordant with accomplishing virtue. May their three doors be free from the discordant class. I'll free their three doors from the discordant class. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
이제 누가는 소리가 큰 누에다 누지 좀 못해 받았잖아 좀 진짜 저거다 그래서 대신 너무나 신경 쓰고 어떻게 해야 되지
How nice it would be if all sentient beings were free from all suffering and its causes. They are non-virtues. May they be free from all suffering and all causes of suffering. Our freedom from all suffering and its causes of suffering. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
이제 누가는 이제 그 거대 예수도 동안에 코스로 보고도 에라나고 에라나 그게 가서 하다가 좀 상기시 발발이 되는 거 아니야? 여기다가 이거 쓰는 여기다가 저도 상기를 해야 돼. 그래서 통지도 상기시 공부를 해도 좀더 더 어떻게 내가 좀 잘했어 보이지.
Next, we generate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms. Even though I should take on the responsibility, I do not have the ability to place them in the state of complete enlightenment now. Who has such abilities? Only those who have achieved the state of complete enlightenment have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment.
이제 통계에서 산리를 그거다가 샤오는 근데 세컨드가 되는 랑귀가 더 해지고 맞지도 주 제가 이제 이제 뭐 말하면 세 지금 대단한 전취수 하는가 뭐 해지고 어제가 그 제가 되는 거 같은 그래서 무슨 내 버지 전취수 그랬어. 뭐 그런 게 무슨 전취수.
Next, we generate all-encompassing yoga mind. The aspiring conventional bodhicitta that thinks, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. These transform into the aspect of a complete mundis at one's heart. And the ultimate bodhicitta, which is one's mind becoming one taste with emptiness, all phenomena lack inherent existence. These transform into the aspect of a white five-pronged vajra on top of the mundis.
여기서 어 바구니 로지 지금 뭐 지나 사다리 띵 사다리 띵 지도도나 다 키는 거 너무 뭐지 다 팀치를 지와 제가 못해 예시를 취소 내 맞이 받아 집이 지는지 바구니로 지도 사실 어디서 또 많이 취소돼 있어.
Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while. The self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one. If they were inherently one, they would necessarily become partless one. If they were partless one, they are following faults. It will be pointless to assert a self. The self would become many. The self was subject to production and disintegration. It will be unreasonable to remember past lives. What one has done would go wasted. One would meet with karma one has not done. Therefore, the self and the aggregates do not exist as inherently one.
이제 더군이 이 처리되는 점에 대해 이제 또
Self and the aggregates also do not exist as inherently different. If they were inherently different, they would necessarily become unrelatedly other. Therefore, the self and the aggregates also do not exist as inherently different. Since they do not exist as inherently one or inherently different, they are empty of inherent existence. As I always say, it is very important to conjoin the roots of virtue of our three doors with the practice of six perfections. As to conjoin these roots of virtue with the practice of six perfections, it is as follows. The first one is generosity. The nature of generosity is the mind of giving. These 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma is for the sake of achieving the happiness and purifying the sufferings of all sentient beings. If I can cause this mind to manifest strongly, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of generosity. Next is morality. The nature of morality is the minds of abandonment. During these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will fully abandon my physical and verbal misdeeds without letting them manifest. If I engage in these roots of virtue from within these minds of abandonment, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of morality. Next is patience. The nature of patience is an undisturbed mind. During these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma, I will patiently accept any difficulties and hardship of my body and my mind. If I engage in these roots of virtue in this manner, then these roots of virtue would conjoin with the practice of patience. Next is joyous effort. The nature of joyous effort is a mind enthusiastic for virtue. I will I will joyfully and enthusiastically engage in listening, contemplation, and meditation on the Dharma. Next is concentration. The nature of concentration is a single-pointed mind that abides on virtuous object. I will single-pointedly focus my mind on the virtuous object that I listen to. I will single-pointedly focus my mind on these roots of virtue, this virtuous activity of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma. If I engage in this manner, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of concentration. The last one is wisdom. The nature of wisdom is a knower that thoroughly distinguishes phenomena. I will properly and unmistakably understand the words and meanings of the Dharma that I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on. If I engage in these roots of virtue in this way, then these roots of virtue will be conjoined with the practice of wisdom. Set a good motivation. For the sake of all mothers and sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I will listen to the holy teaching and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings. Yeah, so before we start the question and answer, then I have something to to explain. 我提一个，我提一下，对对对，So before we start last week to go ask the questions. So then I would like to explain it first, and then before we go on to other question. Last week, the people asked the questions, the meaning of the exalted wisdoms, knowing, exhaustions, and non-productions are enlightenment. So in order to explain these, then first, when we talk about enlightenment, the enlightenment are of three types: the hearer's enlightenment, the solitary realizer's enlightenment, and Mahayani's enlightenment. Or in other words, the enlightenment in the continuum of hearers, solitary realizers, and Mahayanists. So there are three types of enlightenment. So these exalted wisdoms, knowing exhaustions and non-productions are enlightenment. So knowing exhaustions and non-productions, so exhaustions of obscurations and non-productions of obscurations are enlightenment. So the exalted wisdoms, knowing exhaustions of obscurations and non-productions of obscurations are enlightenment. And they are in harmony with the productions of that enlightenment. So they refer to these 37 harmonies of enlightenment. So these 37 harmonies of enlightenment are in harmony directly and indirectly with the productions of their respective enlightenment. So their respective enlightenment refers to whether it's a solitary hearers one or solitary realizers one or Mahayanese one. So these 37 harmonies of enlightenment are in harmony directly and indirectly with the productions of their own enlightenment. So these 37 harmonies of enlightenment are in harmony with the productions of that enlightenment or of their own enlightenments are mentioned in the sutra. So there is Sally asked a question, and that is a very good question. So I would like to mention it here. So and the question is about antidotes. So the antidotes, when we talk about antidotes, it can be antidotes in a general context, and it can be a direct antidote. So there is a difference in antidote and direct antidote. So when we talk about antidote, then it's more like a general antidote. And then when we talk about direct antidote, then it has the meaning of direct or actual. So direct or actual. So then there is a difference between these two. So, and this question is related to five strengths. So I would like to talk about this. So we have already talked about it. I think this question is very good. So I would like to talk about it again. So the question is about the antidotes to laziness. So we have in the previously we also discussed this, and then in a question and answer manner that what is the antidote to faith? What is the the discordant class of faith, and what is the discordant class of joyous effort and so forth. So so the Sally's questions is about these antidotes to laziness.
아, 이게 뭐 보인 이게 그 지금 봐도 하면 되게 어려워. 이거 봐도. 내가 저 그거만 있잖아. 내가 되고 또 같이. 와. 진짜 감이 있지. 지금 레오레. 내가 이게 뭐 보인 이게 되고 지금 봐도 되는 재밌어. 와. 이거 봐.
가서 뭔가 기술에 계속으로나 저들이 감바로
슈퍼 이게 진짜 정말로
이게 진짜
와.
그러니까 저들 주주이 감각이 챙이로
지금은 재밌어요. 그런 예방가 있는 부분이 이제 배우와 예방가 있는 부분이 이제 되게 매주 집단 친구들 와 많이 친구들 등지가 재미있어. 그래서 근데 요새는 어떻게 돼서 등지가 좋아하는
Yeah, so in the context of four legs of magical emanations, then we talk about these five faults, and then one of it is laziness, and then we also talk about the antidotes to the five faults, yeah, or to the faults of laziness. So we're going to talk what we are going to talk about is in the context of four legs of magical emanation. It's related to this topic that we have discussed before.
그것도 시어되면서联络가 그것도联络가联络是话的话联络的时候的간다 뭐죠 년부시시를 봐 년부시시 봐 년부시를 가르치나 근데 이장 전주 전에 이제 되는 임바 이게 이제 인도 대바스 대바의 시와 대바 대시보다 내로 년부시로 와
띵엔진라 대바당, 른바당, 전주당, 신장요.
그게 내가 서 간다 가서 니가 또 가더라 가자고 되면서 근데 니가 또 내도 가지고 그래서 인민들 공부를 받을 게 있는 거서 그거 인민들 공부를 받을 게 있는 거 지지도 다 됨, 이거나 또 되는지 네 무슨 그것도 많이 있고 와 같이 이렇게 못 봐이나 이따 인민들 공부를 받을 지지 진실지 이런 거 들으면联络教授联络的了宁波西，如果是我这个线路啊，宁波西是不去，那宁波西的可能是呢，啊，联巴、宁巴、兼具、西江一些。
So then, the faults of laziness, there are four antidotes or there are four applications to abandon the faults of laziness. And the laziness that we discuss in this context is the laziness that cures us from cultivating the meditative civilization. So the laziness here, it refers to the laziness that obscures us from cultivating meditative civilization. So we have to eliminate or we have to discard this laziness that obscures us from cultivating meditative civilization. So there are four antidotes or there are four applications to the laziness, to the fault of laziness. And the four antidotes are faith, aspiration, uh, exertions or joyous effort, and pliancy, the first four.
我的时候呢，我就联络宁波西的，他那个的话，那我就兄弟继续接我的，兄弟嘛写的，那宁波西当的，那我说联络是吧？这个宁波写的，那我说，那对吧的，是吧？对吧的，宁波，根据西江的西个宁波的人多啊，宁波的人多啊，那宁波的人有的呢，那这宁波多大的，多大，多大，越不，宁波。也到了地呢，的内部多上修，是吧？那说也把很多啊，丁个子来一路给也把很多啊，你也把的，他刚才来了个年报的也是好过嘛，他兄弟们啥也是吧，也把的，他也把的丁个子个一路给也把的，来了个年报的地呢，但那个年报的差不多是，因为那个好要嘛，
一对比对吧？
也把的，但来了个那也是。联络我们今年过的这个是呢，我那个这个那对球员嘛，我们今年过是在一些关把别人做不到了，是吧？你东西是不会是。
And these four, inspiration, exertion, faith, and pliancy. So these four are the antidotes to the fault of laziness. So this is persisted in those scriptures. So and these four are the antidotes to laziness based on the relationship of being the cause and result and being the actual antidotes. So they are antidotes in terms of one being the cause and the result, and B can also be the actual antidotes. So they are antidotes. How say they are antidotes and based on different presentation. So presentation of cause and effect and also actual antidotes. So and these four are the antidotes to laziness, right? So the first one, faith, activating faith. So is captivating faith the antidote of laziness? Then we have to say yes, right? Because this is specified in the scripture already. So activating faith is the antidote to the laziness. But then you say yes. Then another question is captivating faith the actual antidote to laziness or not? Then the answer is no.
다들 가서 왜 반답에 내놓고 년보시와 년보시 시절에 가서 년보시고 지당 가서 네 렌디 띵인지 가서 렌디 일을 넣어 렌디 띵인지 다자 전부 신에도 그저 시고래 렌디 신에도 토발라 내봐도 내놓도 그리로 내놓도 문제 시장의 지역이야 그래서 내놓도 문제 시장 와 내놓도 문제 시장의 지역이야 그래서 문제 시장 레비 신자도 터바이나 내로도 도구네 세월에마도 나서 레비 시장대 뭐지 뭐니 내로 뭐니 해서 그게 되고요. 이시고요. 레비 시장대 터바이나 뭐니 내로 도고 내시고 내로 도비 처리 간다 내먹기 되시고 좋아 내로 도비 처리 레비 시장도 도비 내로도 도비 처리 뭐니 뭐 시고요. 그래서 레비 시장대 가서 밀로지 저도 그게 연구가 해서 그게 쉬고요. 쉬고요. 레비 시장대 더 못들어.
레로 도비 토네 인보시요.
레로 도비. 레비 시장 토를 레로 도로 버렸어. 레로 그냥 뭐 해서
So these four are the antidotes to laziness. So in order to attain meditative civilization, or in other words, in order to attain home abiding, then one has to attain or one has to generate the resultant pliancy that discard laziness or that eliminates laziness. So one has to attain or generate the resultant pliancy in order uh, uh, so one has to generate the resultant pliancy that discards or eliminates laziness. So uh, once one attains pliancy, laziness will be discarded or will be eliminated. And how this is what it means. So once you attain pliancy, laziness will be discarded or will be stopped or will be eliminated. So it doesn't say that pliancy is the actual antidote to laziness. It doesn't say that. So pliancy is the antidote to laziness. Is one of the antidotes to laziness is from the perspective that it discards laziness or it dispels or discards laziness. So from this perspective, pliancy is said to be one of the antidotes to laziness. So these four are antidotes to laziness. So in order to attain meditative civilization or come abiding, one has to generate or attain the resultant pliancy that is caused laziness. So if one attains pliancy, laziness will be discarded. So this is what it means by pliancy discards laziness. So once one attains pliancy, laziness will be discarded. It doesn't say that pliancy is the actual antidote to laziness. So, and from the perspective of from this perspective that pliancy discarding the pliancy discards laziness. Therefore, pliancy is said to be one of the antidotes to laziness.
当然说实际上就多啊，但实际上这个因为问题是，实际上这个我是因为问题是不然你我有在考虑的是呢，我说那个的巧理性就那个的，是吧？跟我说哪里的多啊，哪里的是那个的，是吧？这哪里的双家的，实际上好了，很年的情况是呢，因为问题说的理性就那个的，理性就那个的，就把结果的，并不把结果的，也是这个。就把用把结果的也是个。理性就那个的，肯定下过来是呢，哪里嘛对吧？双家的，理性给我了，其他人的过度没弄问题。
理性给
我了，其他人的过度没弄问题的话，都没弄问题，那我说哪里呢？是多少的话，哪里对吧？双家，是吧？我的情况呢，对吧？理性给我了，其他人的过度没弄问题，理性就那个的是。对，但嘛人知道那个嘞，你去那个嘞，谁去那个嘞，然后其他小当地是，有的没有。那个多多把时间给对的，是吧？多多的理性就那个嘞，考虑是呢，理性给我了，过度，其他人的过度没弄问题。按这必须要这个，其他人的过度没弄问题，因为你结果的理性给我了，就当人的过度没问题讲，过度问题，我是吧？我对的。
So we can so we if we want to we identify the direct discordant class. Yeah. So let's identify the direct discordant class of client C. So the direct discordant class of client C is physical and mental negative tendency. So so through this, then we can understand that pliancy is the actual or direct antidote to physical and mental negative tendency. So yeah, so through identifying the direct discordant class of pliancy, then we will be able to understand uh, uh, pliancy is the direct antidote to physical and mental negative tendency. So yeah, one is from a forward, one is from a backward. So the direct discordant class of pliancy is physical and mental negative tendency. So there is one way of saying this, and another way of saying this is pliancy is a direct antidote or is the actual antidote to the physical and mental negative tendency. So so then through this, the physical and mental negative tendency will be cut or will be destroyed. So through applying the direct antidotes of pliancy to the physical and mental negative tendency, then physical and mental negative tendency will be cut or will be destroyed. And this is mentioned in the text. So in brief, so what does it mean by physical and mental negative tendency? So in brief, it is the unsuitability to be employed as desire on the virtuous object. The unsuitability to be employed at will on virtuous uh, sorry, yeah, is the physical and mental's unsuitability to be employed at will on virtue. So this is what it means by physical and mental negative pliancy. It is the physical and mental's unsuitability to be employed at will on virtues. So, and through applying the direct antidote, which is pliancy, to physical and mental negative tendency, it makes our our mind and our body suitable to be employed at will on virtues.
这里是让俺这人们是这样的，俺这人民部的也是，俺给让俺是民部的是路的啊，民部的是不行了，大家的是，应当是送的是吧？应当是送的是吧？人民部是的，人民部是晓得俺在一些个那些也把的，俺都最绿的俺说， Senti to tell yellow jung in the master, senti to non libre. Come out to show you on that. Senti to tell yellow. The Nimbo Yodo with the Zoti as a senti to damage Nimbo. Senti to Chago Nimbo. Or did Chago. That thing also, senti to take it. That senti to Nimbo told it. That senti to take it. Drip Shishan. Shishan the senti to drip Chago. Senti to dribble. Wow. That's into yellow tell when it check with it. I need a chip a day to the car to never shot. Wow. Send to take it, yellow ticket, and then it get the out with it. Was a very young. She'll pull it yellow water, yes. Tata, you know that.
So then what is the direct antidote or direct antidote to laziness? And it is a joyous effort or exertion. So joyous effort is the direct antidote to laziness, and this is commonly presented in scriptures. So, and the result of joyous effort is pliancy. So, joyous effort, joyous effort acts as the direct antidote to laziness, or in other way of saying this is joyous effort counteracts laziness, and through this one attains the result, which is pliancy. And having attained the resultant pliancy, laziness will be stopped or will be discarded. So you see how it goes from one to another. So just now we say pliancy, laziness is discarded by pliancy, right? And pliancy is the result of joyous effort. The joyous effort is the cause of pliancy. So through joyous effort acting as the direct antidote to laziness, one will attain the result, which is pliancy. And having attained the result, pliancy, laziness will be discarded.
바르게 토래 눈에 지하게 이거 수익 적으로서나 아 전주 되게 이거 되는 게 이거
공다 전주게
내로 주민이 집으로 와. 내 지하게 이거 있게 하거나 이거 전주게 내가 왜 파티잖아요. 와. 대전에 이거 수익 적으로서나 아 인기질라 아 걔네들이 걔네들 님바 되죠. 인기질라 걔네들 님바 돼 또제 센주게 내가 간다. 도와치니 엄마치니 때때로 은혜 지구 여러 마도 근데 되는지 님바지 매바이나 전도 요나 그래요. 전도 요나 그래요. 님바도 거기 누구 해서 뭐 와. 누구 얘가 그런다. 그 님바 전도 이야기 좀 요동을 됐어. 와.
So joyous effort is the direct antidote to laziness, and who empowers joyous effort to be the direct antidote to laziness? So who gives the power to joyous effort to act as a direct antidote to laziness? And it is aspiration. So aspiration, striving for meditative civilization is the one who gives power to joyous effort to act as a direct antidote to laziness. So by the power of aspiration, striving for meditative civilization, one put in effort, or one undertake a joyous effort, and then through this joyous effort being the direct antidote to laziness, and then being the direct antidote to laziness, one attains pliancy, and having attained pliancy, one abandons or discards laziness.
왜 대화습니다. 이거 님바들이야. 야 님바들이 고야. 님바들은 님바를 야 띵인지가 되더니 님바 되더니 님바들은 님바들이 쓰르스나 띵인지가 인터뷰 대화돼. 뭐 띵인지 그때 하자는 그 자체 보지 봐. 대화. 나 대화 되게 또지. 나도 님바들 님바게 님바 대도 딱 있네. 전주대 당원. 딱 전주대 무슨 님바지네. 이게 저는 이거 갖고는 이게 시작. 어떤 니 님보로 가서다. 지금 와서 님보로니 가도 무슨 내가 가게 주고. 말을 지니까 가고서는 맞죠. 띵겐지라 인도에 대바디 여바 대바 여바 당시 레노게 동인데 레노 그때 작은데 가도 뭐였어 대바 여이나 레노가 미도 그라 다도 에너지 때래 이제 대바 여스 아 야보시라 해서 때 이제 대바 여 이만에 내가 진짜 대바 이나 너 도구 뭐다 무슨 내 도구 뭐다 야 님바 다래 아 띵겐지 때 야보시라 해서 나 되는 님바 오늘 짜증 무슨 일 되는 데 이나 이주 마가나 내려가 connaît 도구데 내 도구 뭐다 오, 네. 내가 간다. 오늘 간 님보 뭐야? 내가 그 시험 좋아. 근데 주비고는 님보, 근데
님보 시.
오, 님보데. 근데 주바 주비 돈으로 와. 님 돈에 가다. 아, 그 님보 스킬 시험. 아, 근데 그 님보 시험 다시 가방이나 그 야당 보여. 야당 보여. 님보 세와 당연히 세와 되게 제발 먹어요.
And again, who gives power to these aspirations striving for meditative civilization? So it is faith, captivating faith, faith that captivates, that captivates about meditative civilization. Faith that captivates about meditative civilization. So faith is the one that gives power or empowers inspiration, striving for meditative civilization. So by the power of activating faith, then aspiration will arise, and through this, then an aspiration gives power to joyous effort, and joyous effort as a direct antidote to laziness, and then one will achieve the result, which is pliancy. Then laziness will be discarded. So, and this is how these four antidotes are the antidotes to laziness. So if we only, so it talks about the direct antidotes and antidotes. So antidotes in general or indirect antidotes. So there is a difference here is because when we talk about faith, so these four are antidotes to laziness, right? Faith, aspiration, joyous effort, and pliancy. So they are all antidotes to laziness. If we only have faith, captivating faith, and can laziness be counteracted or not? Yeah. So if there is no joyous effort, just having the captivating faith will do nothing. It will do no harm to laziness. Similarly, if we only have this aspiration, so again, if we have aspiration but there is no joyous effort, again it will cause no harm. It will cause no harm to laziness. So then joyous effort, that's why we say joyous effort is the direct antidote to laziness because it causes harm to the laziness. So these four are antidotes to laziness, and they are antidotes to laziness in the manner of being a direct or indirect cause to laziness. And this is very common in texts, scriptures.
마디바 코로나 다르노 대비 또 되고 응어 좀 medito 마디바 아 전주지 또 되게 응어 좀 medito다 내가 가 이거 내가 좋아 대비 쓰자 아 대비 또 좋아 대비 또 응어 좀 medito다 쟁이다 쟁이 다다 그 큰다는 건데 내가 그러고 들어와 대가들이 다 현장 지나 지야 여러와 대비 또 전에 재미 돌아와 이제 또 돼. 이게 그렇구나. 나이 이게 뭐지 나이 좋아. 이게 되게 이게 뭐지 나이. 아, 이제는 신기 좋아. 또 싫어. 제일 좋아. 제일 좋아도 이게 뭐지 괜찮아. 괜찮아. 다도 두세 지난 자간데 두비오 지난 가서 뭐 좀 medito 내가 상관에 와서 뭐지 년보세 이게 상관 이제 고대야. 와.
So we also talk about these five strengths, and these five strengths are the strength of faith, joyous effort, mindfulness, meditative stabilization, and wisdom. So to identify the direct discordant class of faith is non-faith. So you can see is very straightforward. So the direct discordant class of faith is non-faith, and the direct discordant class of choice effort is laziness. The direct discordant class of mindfulness is forgetfulness. The direct discordant class of meditative civilization is distraction, and the direct discordant class of wisdom is faulty wisdom. Faulty wisdom.
那这整个背景下头呢，就这个让是上浪老就尽力嘛的呢，那就上浪那个，就今年那就把这个当的，那就이게 동안 빠지면 인지 꾼다 정면에 대 가르쳐서는 동안 빠지면 안 올라요.
예, 대신 통랑 빠지면
인지 꾼다 정면에 대 가르쳐서는 이게 동안 빠지면 대신 동안 빠지면 동네 찍히는 냐바셔비 이게 돼. 하나 이게 동안 빠지면 와 동네 찍히는 냐바기 이게 동안 빠지면 되래.
동만이 제주도 내비
지금 냐바샹 이게 동안 빠지면 와서 동안 빠지면 돼. 응원에 가서는 인지 꾼다 정면에 되래. 이게 동안 빠지면
동이 제주도 냐바샤베
이게 동안 빠지면 인지 꾼다 정면에 가서는 되래. 그래서 오늘 찍힌 냐바셔비 이게 좋아해. 이 차례 다 동네 찍힌 냐바셔비 이게 강가도 문제에 있으면 된 노고 말이야.
동이 제주도 냐바샤베 예시
이게 다리는 항상 된다 보면 로스 노고요 말. 근데 내가 생각은 뭐래? 아마 이번 게 뭐지?
동만이 제주도 냐바샤베 냐바샤베 예시 대 대지군다기 nguyên nhân đó 이네
말을 하시면 근데 찍힌 냐바셔비 디지털 하시면
맞지 멜람데
대대디보다 생기는 거예요. 오늘 찍힌 냐바셔비 이게 된다 생기는 이거 말이에요.
동만이 제주도 냐바샤베 예시 이나 대지군다
그래서 디지털 받치면 다 해서 오늘 찍힌 냐바셔비 이게 된다 생기는 디지털 받치면 돼.
대신 통랑 바지 멜람 대양 동만이 제주도 냐바샤베 예시에 대지군다기 nguyên nhân 하지 이네 대 동만이 제주도 냐바샤베 예시에 이나 이네 대nguyên nhân 대지군다기 nguyên nhân 이거 말이 Yeah, so and regarding the presentations of path and grounds, and I understand that some of you have not learned about presentations of grounds and path before. So just to leave an imprint. So when we I would like to explain this from the presentations of grounds and paths. So perspective. So if we ask what is the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping? So what is the actual antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping? And the answer is the Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing. Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing that is on the meditative, that is is a meditative voice. Nyambashabe 제주도 nyambashabe. 야 싱가포르에 good voice. 가도 된 라면디라.
받치면 yes.
That's all. That it's how done. Okay, sorry, I start from the beginning. So what is the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping? And the actual antidote is Mahayana path of seeing, uninterrupted path of seeing, or sometimes it's translated as Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing. So Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping. So this Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is an exalted wisdom. That is meditative points. Yeah. So this Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is an exalted wisdom. Equipoise meditating single-pointedly on emptiness. So this Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is an exalted wisdom and equipoise single-pointedly focused on emptiness. So and in a then again, if someone asks if it is an exalted wisdom an equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness. So if it is if one is an exalted wisdom and equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness, does it mean that it is always a direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping or not? Then the answer is no. So I start from the beginning, sorry. So what is the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping? The answer is Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing. So this Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is an exalted wisdom and equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness. So does it mean that all exalted wisdom and equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness is necessarily are necessarily direct antidotes to intellectually acquired true grasping or not? Then the answer is no.
네. 하나도 된지 근다 되면은 뒤지 방아 받치면라와 받치면라니. 안다. 다 된지 근다 되면은 이나 이게 돌아나는 저 나도 나서 된 나도 뒤지 돌아나는 나서 어디 된지 근다 되면은 말에 된지 근다 되는 거래요. 그 된지 근다 나도 나서 어디 뒤지 돌아나는 나서 된지 받치면은 된지 근다 되는 게 내내 제비 대도지 수입 방금 딘지크라도 수입 방도 그래서나 난돌라디 난돌라디 딘지크다 방도 딘지크다 방도 선사 대리 난돌라디 고리는 수도 이시네 해서 해라 오늘 냠바샤 이시나데 오늘 수가 오늘 제일 냠바샤 이시라 하라네 바뀌면 네가 집발에 오늘 냠바샤가 집어지잖아 왜데이나 그 딘지크다게 냠프리디나 내내 말해야지 내내가 뒤에 통화 받치면 하래 받치면 돼 내내 전에 또 수익 인식인가도 수익 방구리에서나 이 통화 만드는 거 맞아 디판 대입 선사 인식인가 뽑아서 인식인가 있는 거 아니겠어
最近通常把这美浪的定位念的话，定位念前呢，帮因属于那最近通常那个了。
그러니까 돈 것도 뭐 지장 안 했으니까.
야, 동이 그래도 또 많이 대 그냥 뭐 잡이. So the actual antidote to the intellectually acquired through grasping is the Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing. So then there is another terms is Mahayana liberated path of seeing. So is this Mahayana liberated path of seeing direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping or not? Then the answer is no. However, again, if you ask the questions, so is this Mahayana liberated path of seeing an antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping or not? The answer is yes. So this Mahayana liberated path of seeing is an antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping, but it is not a direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping. So through the Mahayana, and both of these, Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing and Mahayana liberated path of seeing. So these two are exalted wisdom. These two are exalted wisdom single-pointedly meditating on emptiness. So however, Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing, uninterrupted path of seeing is the direct antidote to intellectually acquired true grasping, and the Mahayana liberated path of seeing is not the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping, but it is an antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping. So through the Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing being the antidote, being the direct antidote to the intellectually acquired true grasping, then this liberated path, this Mahayana liberated path of seeing is the one that abandons the intellectually acquired true grasping. So it's the same as how was it just now, the joyous effort and also pliancy. So joyous effort being the direct antidote to laziness, and the one that abandons laziness is pliancy. So similar in this context, and the Mahayana uninterrupted path of seeing is the direct antidote to intellectually acquired true grasping, and through this, the one who abandons the intellectually acquired true grasping is the liberated path, the Mahayana liberated path of seeing.
그래서 대화로 시행하고 제가 이번에 그 신규 뭐 시기 있어요.
중국 인연보.
이거는 선박이 가져와. 이거 선박이 가져와. 이거 선박 이거 선박. 근데 신규 인연보다 이게 가져와. 그래서 회사는 돈 좋아. 좋아. 어디
주에能工作定义。중국 인연보。
시기 좋아.
중국 인연보。
比如我比如水姐里面可是那种水姐。北京那边还有的话。有的话。
중국 인연보的谢谢吧。
新规开展的话。那你北京那地方多啊。接近前八新新多啊，前八新新多啊。前八新新多啊。
중국 인연보的谢谢。
我新新的新规联盟，新新的下很多啊。那下的你们今年播的是哪里的？我新新的新规联盟是联盟都要嘛，要当没多。那等联盟下个就是看了嘞。现在这话的新规联盟就给。这么今年写吧，那写我的，那写过去，那写的，那样你们大概练不了。
这么今年
新规有嘛有的，这么今年写过了是吧？写不成呢，新规联盟是大家看到，是吧？新规今年不的，新规我今年不的看了全部，对吧？全部这个我呢，新规有多嘛？全部这个，把这个全部的写的，说的呢，你往那给不找你来懂。因为你对的，
全部的店铺有呢。
全部的人给写的，全部他把写的我了，全部他把给写的，那个大把写的我了，是吧？写的你把它大把的我了，今天写的你把它大把呢，那希望他给把你，来读嘛的，我呢，我今天我对的，你那俺都等到的，别讲了，天天下雨了，你下来的，等到你们那边就别的事。希望的希望大家把它人都没有可能的想法是，现在讲的那点点我想法的是。
So similarly, introspection is when we perceive or identify the antidotes to laxity and excitement, then we identify it as introspection or vigilance, right? So introspection or vigilance is the antidote to laxity and excitement. So again, if we ask the questions, is introspection the direct antidote to laxity and excitement or not? Then the answer is no. The answer is no. So then if the answer is no, then how do you proceed? How do you say? Why do you say that introspection is the antidote to laxity and excitement? So, introspection is said to be the antidote to laxity and excitement is from the perspective that introspection awares or knows whether laxity and excitement arises or not, whether laxity or excitement comes or not. So introspection is the one that investigate awares they are arising. So through this or from this perspective, that's why from this perspective, introspection is said to be the antidote to laxity and excitement. So then again, then you will ask the question, so what is the direct antidote to laxity and excitement? The answer is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the direct antidote to laxity and excitement. So if one has a firm mindfulness, so this mindfulness is like a rope that ties your mind to the objects of observation. So if this mindfulness is stable, so your mind is firmly tied to the objects of observations, laxity and excitement cannot manifest, cannot arise or cannot come. So mindfulness is said to be the direct antidote to laxity and excitement. And introspection is said to be the antidote to laxity and excitement.
我理解，他听到这就是这个解释了他，没错， 你做的대바学了，대바的嘛，联络年不是这些啥别了，
听见的吧？
대바学啊，대바学啊，联络年不啥别了，联络年不肯定有的，那为什么一看，那那个你可以这么多的，因为的基本的年不罗上一些为了嘛多，他都认为是年不很点，很不多，这样子对吧？起来，哎，对，因为这个还讲个你说的대바学完呢，대바这个联络了，他不会这个，他怎么说？
So, and some will say that there are four antidotes to laziness, right? And faith is also an antidote to laziness as well. So this captivating faith, so is an antidote to laziness. So if you do not think from the perspective that I mentioned just now, being the direct and indirect, being has it directly and indirectly being the antidote to laziness, then how does this captivating faith uh, uh, counteract laziness? How does this faith counteract laziness? It can faith cannot counteract laziness, right?
我就是年不的这个写的多啊，就第三个，
faith cannot directly counteract laziness, right?
别把的联络跟年不的，咱比较写啥了啊？这样子年不看，我都是第三个了，是吧？别把的要那可联络是搞我们的联络，我们联络不是了，别把要不然呢，也反正被全部的小事，联络被全部的，别把要不然呢，别把有些个呢，联络全部的，是吧？
So because the text says that faith is the antidote to laziness, then definitely you will think about how does this faith become the antidote to laziness, right? So because when we have faith, even though we have faith, this captivating faith, we still have laziness, right? Or laziness will still arise strongly, right? We still have a strong laziness.
那就是我的明白的，这个实际上是被用这个了嘛，是上当家的，那个最主要的。哇，对，什么？你看，你把它读到这个你都是基本把条嘛的，你看是你到最主要的，我的，你说啊，你看，你看，把它读到这个你都对，这种是嘛好可能，这个上大学的时候啊，我的最大好结的。
So regarding this. Faith, aspirations, and so forth, they are antidotes to laziness. And then you can relate this you can relate to this. You can relate these to the Maitreya discriminations of the middle and the extremes. And the two lines here it says abidance and the one abiding on that, the cause and its result. So you can relate your understanding of these four as the antidote to laziness to these Maitreya discriminations of the middle and the extremes. It says abidance and the one abiding on that, the cause and its result.
那时候你都没想过其他的是吧？你到这了，你把它那时候是你不是尊重个念经吧？别了念把的，不得了念把的尊重些是，念把是呢尊重下，别了念把的尊重。哦，那时候的你别个念尊重，对吧？对吧？别了念把是说的尊重，尊重是吧？就是多啊，就是说的看对。리빅 좀 해봐. 리빅 좀 해봐. 와, 리빅 좀 해봐. 레버스나 센터 해봐. 양스. 와, 센터 레버 양스. 어디 들 상관에 이게 상관에 나는 글리지. 내가 이래 도와. 일에다 땡땡 봐. 무슨 레버래? 레버디 내가 내가 그냥 뭐 상관에 그냥 뭐 사람 무슨 게 쓰다. 고단 저도 그래서. 야, 내가 그냥 뭐래서 내가 뭐 너다 가리 지 마셔 봐이나. 이거요 말아. 얘도 예반에 네모레스 이번에 네모레스 나도이나 네모 도단지 심어도나 깔래 가보 봐.
So what does this abidance refers to? So abidance refers to the abidance of joyous effort. So abidance of joyous effort is aspiration. And the one abiding on that, so the one abiding on that refers to joyous effort. The cause refers to the cause of aspiration, which is faith. And its result refers to the result of joyous effort, which is buoyancy. So I repeat, abidance refers to the abidance of joyous effort, which is aspiration. The one abiding on that refers to joyous effort. The cause refers to the cause of aspiration, which is faith. And its result refers to the result of joyous effort, which is pliancy. So, thinking about this, then link it to the understanding of these four: faith, aspiration, joyous effort, and pliancy being the other antidotes to laziness. So otherwise, if someone asks you also what are the antidotes to laziness, or what is the antidotes to laziness, then you are able to say that, oh, there are four antidotes, and these four are the antidotes to laziness. Then how do they become the antidote to laziness? And if you do not understand this abidance, the one abiding on that, the cause and its result, then you will not be able to answer that questions. How do they become the antidote to laziness? So you must understand how they become the antidote to laziness.
Well, that is that the joy coming out, joy.
Yeah.
That coming with this Chinese like this, huh?
How they becomes.
这种将来做了的，你是要在可是当才的是吧？当才也是这样子的了，做也不讲东西是吧？
Yeah. So question and answer. So whatever that we need to know, good to understand, and everything I put in the quiz already. Put in the quiz, so good to study those quizzes. So a question and answer. Sorry.
Gisela, quick question. Gisela was mentioning that the mindfulness is the direct antidote to laxity and excitement, but isn't the discordant class of mindfulness forgetfulness?
Isn't the, sorry?
Just now, you're saying Gisela mentioned that the introspection the direct antidote to laxity and excitement? And the answer is no, because the direct antidote to laxity and excitement is mindfulness. So my question is, isn't the discordant class of mindfulness forgetfulness rather than laxity and excitement? Right? Yeah. Sorry. Pick up my point.
Lại nên chỉ thằng yên thì chính cái nguyên nhân để chém vào đó. Chính cái nguyên nhân chém vào ý nó, nên thì thằng yên cái là cái anh đi xung vào đó. Chém vào cái người cái mình tuyên cho, chém bên người cái mình tuyên cho sẽ để chỉ nghe đó, để chính cái mà đó.
네, 맞아, 개요 말했어. 그것도 그래서 와, 이라고. 밖에는 누구나 개요 말했어. 맞아. 엠비기, 나서 엠비기 좀 어디셔대? 엠바 그러면 가고디. 또 맞아 어디 좀 어디셔대? 이게 그랬어.
보나 엠비 người cái mình tuyên cho.
좀 어디셔대? 이게 바로 그랬어. 이게 바로 그랬어. 와. 이게 바로 그랬어. 나도 돼. 굉장히 우리 그냥 잡고 그랬어. 이 샤워디 내가 저 정말로 소리를 말고 희인들 되게 많았어. 그냥 나도 희인이 잘해요. 와. 희인이 잘해. 희인이 잘하고 그래서 나 신경 용모야 희인이 그래. 나도 희인이 되게 잘해. 잘하고. 차도배 와서 신경을 수가 다 부르잖아. 제가 됐어. 제가 어디 됐어. 그렇잖아. 내가 됐어. 그래서 댐비 좀 만들어줘. 이게 됐어. 이게 됐어. 이나 그럼 신경이 샤워로 샤워 샤워 샤워는 딱 그래서 좀 봐.
시심.
얘기만 해서. 얘기는 나오려 뭐. 이거 중요.
So what you say is correct. Mindfulness is a direct antidote to laxity and excitement, and the direct discordant class of mindfulness is forgetfulness. So rather than laxity and excitement, so there's nothing wrong about your questions or the statements that you have mentioned. So the direct discordant class of mindfulness is forgetfulness, and when we need and we also need to proceed a direct antidote to laxity and excitement, right? So when we proceed the direct antidote to laxity and excitement, so mindfulness will be the direct antidote to laxity and excitement, not introspection. So it is true that the direct discordant class of mindfulness is forgetfulness. So when we come to proceeding the direct antidote to laxity and excitement, so then what do was it what would was it what then we need to proceed a direct antidote to laxity and excitement, right? And that direct antidote to laxity and excitement would be mindfulness, not introspection. And introspection is an antidote, but it's not a direct antidote to laxity and excitement.
Per recollection from Middle Lang Lam Rim, I thought Geshe-la mentioned actually the intention to apply the antidote was the direct antidote. Because if you recognize through introspection that laxity has arisen or excitement has arisen, but if you do not have the intention to apply the antidote, then it doesn't go away, right? The laxity and excitement. So I thought I vaguely remember Geshe-la said it was intention was the direct antidote when we were doing Middle Lang Lam Rim. I could be wrong, but that was my recollection. Yeah.
Yeah, the Larry Dibo di kang wake up lah, kissing it the tata tingi tuna, kissing it tata tingi tuna, and keeping a no to and fro cigarette. Ini yang Larry Dibo di kang wake up so the slagi, the chingu ki nguniente, niembo tembe sembaris. Niembo tembe semba ya. Niembo tembe semba. Niembo jawe semba. Joe semba.
와서 님벌 자시 되셔야죠. 내가 그 신기 중에서 님보 못 된바데 나서 내버려 봐.
진고 중에
신기 중에서 님보 못 된바데 내버려 봐. 나 신기 중에서 님보 된바데 된바 된비 세대라 님보 드시비 세대라고 봐. 내가 지천 내가 샤워해서 님보.
자, 진고 중에 제 님보 밑에 많이 나대 내버리스.
내버려. 나 신기 중에서 님보 된비 세바데 님보 드셔봐라고. 내가로 건도다. 내가로 가서 님보 드셔봐라고. 님보 드셔봐도 지기 중에서 님보 못 된바데 내봐 쓴다. 나 지기 중에서 님보 드셔봐도 세바 땡을 해서 님보 해서 가도 잡으러 와.
야, 님보 두지베.
님보 드셔봐. 지기 중에서 님보 못 된바데 내버려 와. 나 못 된바데 내버려 와. 님보 땡거 봐. 드시기 세바서 지천 드셔봐.
님보 밑에베 니바 데라 응은인데 님보 두지베 semba. 님보 템베 semba.
땡거 세바서 그러면 나도 누워서 그러. 내봐라. 세스 누워서 땡게 내봐서 이 장사 제가 나오요. 누워서 봤더니 나오요. 님보 못 된바데 내봐 잡으러 와. 신기 중에서. 님보 못 된바데 내봐 차디 내가 신기 중에 님보 땡게 봐. 님보 드셔.
진국이 응은인데 그래서 님보 밑에 메셈바데 진국이 응은인 디 차에 말이 차기 말어. 야, 니바 제라.
중에서
진국 중에서 님보 셈바 네바래. 님보 네바 디 응은인 님보 셈바데. 님보 셈바데.
따라 버렸어. 내가 이게 뭐야?
데이나야네 디 진국이 응은인 차기 말어. 님보 셈바데. 님보 응은인데 차기 말어. 진국이 응은인 차기 말어. 진국 중에서 님보 밑에 네바 데라 응은인 차기 말어. Yeah. So when laxity or excitement arises, if we do not apply antidotes, it becomes a fault, right? So this fault of not applying antidotes when laxity and excitement arises, then the direct antidote to this fault is the intention intention to apply antidotes. Intention to apply antidotes. Yeah. So when laxity and excitement arises, so if we do not apply antidotes to laxity or excitement, then it becomes a fault. So these the direct antidote to this fault of not applying antidote when laxity or excitement arises is the intention to apply antidotes. So this intention to apply antidotes is the direct antidote to the fault of not applying antidotes when laxity or excitement arises.
같은 경우 퀴즈나 주제였어.
아,
퀴즈나 이럴 때
非常
순간 한번 딩기 년보 니도 매집이 년보들 생년보 뜻이 나를 주제였어. 이 태도 있다. 이 가도 내가 딩기 년보 샤워를 나도 나도 그다음 딩기서 그냥 시비가 말아.
Yeah. So, so this is also included in this is also the one of the questions that I included in our second quiz, that the intention to apply antidotes is the apply the antidotes is the direct antidote to.
Yes, no,
Yeah, yes,
no. 도 제바든스 도 제바.
개발.
Yes, no, 나서 도 제바.
Yes, no, 개발.
제일 나타 예스. Yes, no, 니 지지바. Yes, no, 도 제바.
Yeah. Not applying the antidote to laxity. So, yeah. So, cái không số là tiếng gọi về. Yeah. Lasso, tên là đi rồi. So this is the unedited version, yeah. So in question 8 and sub-question number 8, then it says the intentions of applying mind is the antidote to the fourth fault of not applying antidote to laxity and excitement and so forth. So this is what it means by the intentions of applying mind or antidote is the direct antidote to the faults of not applying antidote when laxity and excitement arises. So, however, so it doesn't mean that the intentions of applying antidote or applying mind is the direct antidote to laxity and excitement. So this is the difference.
Yeah, you must say, check with the neighbor cut level. Nani Maji is not Nani check so neighbor cut level. Nani Maji so Nani check so
So it's similar to a very straightforward example that Geshe-la mentioned is has it not practice, then the direct antidote to it is practice. So similar to this, the intentions of applying antidote is the direct antidote to the fault of not applying antidote to laxity and excitement. In other words, the fault of not applying antidote when laxity or excitement arises. So the direct antidote to the fault of not practicing is not practice. The fault of not practice is practice. So it's as straightforward as that. So the intentions of applying antidote or applying mind is the direct antidote to the fault of not applying antidote when laxity or excitement arises. So, however, the intentions of applying mind or antidote is the direct antidote to the fault of not applying antidote when laxity or excitement arises. And but the intentions of applying antidote is not a direct antidote. Is not the direct antidote to laxity and excitement. So there is a difference between these two sentences.
월드라 야 신경이 있는 곳들이 고라니까 월 신경 동이세 님보 너 먼저 봐도 야 신경이 님보 드셔 봐도 되 고라니까 이거 이 두야 근데 저랑 가고 있어 그거는 두르스
중국이 님보的谢信者的yang thông了
신경이 좀 시기세들이 로그래 이 로그래 다음에 가나 방대 중국 님보 시기에서
중국 중국谢信
중국 중국 시기에서 그래서 가시는 들려 그래 당신은 가도 내고 신경이 뭐 얘기해서 그래.
중국 중미 용기谢信.
그 얘기 나오래. 네 뭐. 나도 간다시나. 나도 올게도 신기 중에 내뭐 너무 이제 봐서 저도 고야 신기 내뭐는 이 거는 이거 저는 고도와 이 눈이 그거 이제 바로 나도 원래 가서는 신 중에 내뭐 뭐 잡아 내봐 어떻게 내보라고 지금 너무 신 내뭐 저한테 신기 맛 신기 중에 내뭐 맛 빨리 내봐 해서 내뭐 땡을 해서 내뭐 땡이 봐 내뭐 땡을 때다 대신에 이거 내뭐 다
Yeah, so here's a how to say a common a common point that some people sorry is a point that some people might mistaken it for something else. So sorry how to say the yeah so yeah 경미 중 이거 경미 중에 세진 공다 yeah so yeah, so there is a common misunderstanding as well because in some texts, then instead of saying the antidote to laxity and excitement is introspection, sometimes they might they phrase it in this way: the antidotes to the arising and non-arising of laxity or excitement is introspection. So they phrase it or differently. However, then we must differentiate these two. So the antidotes to laxity and excitement and antidotes to the faults of not applying antidote when laxity and excitement arises. So there is a difference between these two. So we must differentiate these two. So otherwise, then there is a danger that then we will say that the antidote to laxity and excitement is intentions of applying antidote. So because intentions of applying antidotes or applying mind is the antidote to faults of not applying antidotes when laxity or excitement arises. Is not the antidote to laxity and excitement.
엄마들 친구 보이지 뭐 너무 해봐서 내봐 하는데 신기 줄도 뭐 맞대봐야 다 내버려 와 되게 뭐 땡기 세바세 뭐 땡 그걸 해서 따다고 내가 누구 사카다 뭐 땡기 세바 뭐 신기 줄서 뭐 생이 뭐더 해봐서 나도 그냥 내가 와 어디 따다고 어디 가도 들어와
뭐 때마다 쌤 때마다 되지밖에
생이 반드시 그냥 생이 반드시 해봐 그러와 생이 반드시 해봐
생각만 드시봐. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So so we must be able to tell the difference between the antidotes to laxity and excitement and antidotes to the faults of not applying antidotes to laxity, not applying antidotes when laxity or excitement arises. So this not applying antidotes when laxity or excitement arises is the fault, right? So the antidotes to this non-application. Huh? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sally, you want to say something?
No, we are confused because in the karma abiding kind, Geshe-la said that antidote to non-application is application in the Middle-Lang Lamrim text. So
in MLR, then we say the antidote to non-application is application.
Correct. So now in this like 4 legs of magical emanation, we now study intention is antidote to non-application. So we're a little bit confused.
Oh, okay. So you mean in MLR, then we study that antidotes to non-application is application, and here in this context of 4 legs of magical emanation, intention is the antidote to non-application, right? Hello. Hello. Okay, so also kasa lambim di jambe kapsu nyembo mitemba nyembo de nyembo temba ene de kanda ene de juju gi gangba shi di shi be kapsu ene de nyembo mitembe kada de jingo jungwe che nyembo mitembe nyeba gi nyembo de semba res
你我对比先把了我，你我对比先把，我定了我，你这不叫的，这几百了的，你哪里搞这个了？在这样子的，
几百的话，
没事，我去叫人，那几百的，你哪里搞是新的搞是咱看这里，你在个其他了，
哦，
哪里其他了，你搞什么？你在个其他头的，你我是用的人，你在个几个头的，
呀，
你帮我你去是你在个几个，哪里来不是不？
So you say that in MLR, the antidotes to non-application is applications, and in these four legs of magical emanation, the antidote to non-application to the faults of not applying antidotes when laxity or excitement arises is intention, right? So this intention to apply antidotes and applications are the same thing. So these two are the same thing. So in MLR, the discriminations of the middle and the extremes is quoted. And also here in this context, discriminations of the middle and the extremes is also quoted here in this context of four legs of magical emanation.
他都能看起来都不要的，看起来原来的他现在交关，你忙不要的啊，这样子，这个我都真穷了，就看到这就是呢，俺让大家落后个嘛的看起，看起落后个嘛的，那个熊嘛的我嘛吃嘛了，哎呀，他是爷爷生了，当然你忙不要的，没呀，我就知道这看到俺老家都是呢，看到这个人忙住呀，也嘛这个日子忙不要的事，那这熊哎，我嘛只要这个忙不要的事，这个忙不要的事，你切不到你忙不要的事。
Yeah, so when we read text, so then you may say that, oh, this text say like this. Then when we read text, then we must understand when a text, when the content of it when it's presented, then those content, even though it's the same words, and however some words are related to the context before that, and and even though it's the same words and the same in some places, these words is related to the later context. So, and then you have to understand that even though it's the same words, you must understand this word whether it's related to the previous context or whether it's related to the later context. And through this, through reading, reading it in this way, then it makes a difference in your understanding.
我觉得我都真的是刚把过来，原来新年过来，原来都点到了几把罗大底下老人看的，你不机器点到的时候，机器点到了点到了人，我考一下了，几把的。
你没点到。
你没点到底下老人说，罗大底下老人。
你帮他读几给的。
你帮我你点到有了，点到底下老人说，就是刚把搞定了新年搞定了，搞完了蒙皮的话，我接到底下老人说。
Yeah, so regarding these presentations of 8 applications to the 5 faults, and this presentation is common in the context of calm abiding. It is common in the presentations of 4 legs of magical emanation as well. How much did you see?
我听到中间，这小美快点来，很聪明。
几十题嘅，几万名啊，
这主要没那对小那我说我写了，那就是没听到讲的呀，会是做了什么大，就是讲，那我这搞习惯了，经常要不是个情绪是什么的，就是对被解释上搞啊解个，要不是个通俗是了，是吧？然后你这个推行解释，这个就是什么，哎，就是情样子是吧？那没听的，你可以说是没听的，就说了，要不讲了些的，你就是你本来修解释的是吧？然后你个来解释。그것도 눈에 있는 햇살이도 고조까지 쇼제사로와 그런서까지 쇼제사했어.
So if there's no more questions from you, then we'll stop here. So the 2 quizzes that I prepared. So please properly study them, and then think about it. So this ornament for clear realization, in particular, this 4th chapter. So all of us have put in a great effort in learning it. So I am very, very pleased with all of you. Putting great effort in learning it. So I sincerely, from the depth of my heart, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you. So these quizzes, we have put in great effort. So Geshe-la himself, then the translation itself, and also Sally, checking those quizzes. So the three of us have put in great effort in making this possible. So please, please study them well.
背要不实际就是背习了，背习过的背要不，那要不这样就看的，讲是实话，对，要不看讲是实话。
Yeah. So I'm very, very happy and satisfied with all of you that you all have put in great effort in learning this ornament for clear realization, especially this fourth chapter.
到门前的经济的台湾上，杨老师什么都经济到有多门都就这是话，那本地的我们经济可以全部下来，到了台湾上门前呢，就接受习实话。
So next week, then next Tuesday, then we are going to next Tuesday class, then we are going to learn about Bodhisattva. So Tuesday and Saturday will be Bodhisattva. So it's a very important text, and is a is very important text. Then I urge all of you to continue to put in great effort in learning Bodhisattva as well.
我说研发出去呢，你这些产品说你大赛的东西呢，因为今天大赛的呢，还要我们当时的。两家到的问题呢，台湾给他不要的是，那是而且两项是搞得到了台湾不要的是。
Yeah, so especially and also senior members, then you might think, you might think that I've studied Bodhisattva for 2 times or 3 times already. So, however, you do not think that way. So, because when you study Bodhisattva again and again, then you will understand the text better and better. So we develop more and more understanding based on that Bodhisattva.
Thank you.
Yeah. The more.
Yeah, more 这个方法是，或者more的你一直看到，你找完的那个7点半地方多对吧？我这边就这个今天早上3小时的时间，要把它弄一直不至于要把它修，就把它，当然了，肯定差不多就，在这那么时候那么久，要把它弄一点事情没有的，要把它。特别那就看到马路的马路有那个到马路是怕有的多啊，有的多啊，到没事的话，给他讲话，那我是说，到马路第一就讲这世界车的那些呢，这个他们是地方他们上地去公告吧，有的多啊，给他，按照你路够了，那你中华区那把马路吧没有的，是地嘛，地去了把给在我就我去说。
So we conclude this with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live beyond long, to have good health. May all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all 10 directions. We also dedicate these roots of virtue specifically to our beloved teacher, Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the profound teaching from Rinpoche again. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace and happiness, and may wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disaster, pandemic, diseases be pacified immediately. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to those, especially to those who pass away because of these unconducive conditions. May all their negativities accumulated since beginningless time be pacified immediately and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. Sabe gewa de tenang zhuwa tunda gambe tang gepa jizun lo sang chaba yi tenbe ni mo re to se je shu. So we as a Thanksgiving mandala. Di tagi ji sabe gewa de doing the. Oh, that's good. Oh, 所学不给就是没多长，日让灵心你的见巴的上天心多没得话语，若跟南大心拉绝巴说，坚持那边不在让天气，刚刚今天出脚也巴当，刚刚今天路上的面对面上所以。昼夜不息，大度的爱情，在去不尽心面对着爱情，上去。所有人当最大那个，也要大家。
讲就是
我今把街把那说街把娘把别把呀，我年过多别话说，下别把云记得天把当，路上我的样的对让归别接受大多接给我的大当接拉多我也他妈的不接，别把那街把娘把别把呀，我年过多别话。人不见嘛，结巴那几结巴娘把面巴呀，后面更多面巴。一切众多绝变了，结结实实看结结实实，强那边么点子变做了，我点说绝绝。你说我一天看的变的嘛对吧？看的就是变形说，把这准备点心掉手了，说我得说这些人多说，他们的不就是你让做多上叫我也是个把的，让点心给加油把那个天天把准备给的，用说出对对对的过去写到特别对我那样我就是那国家节准备节制那么说我的天天把对准备过去过去，等到嘛觉得我一点了记住什么身边我都不喜欢。也帮人少量竞争要走进了当，这是那这都给了我些路呗，连个样多少辈中给上自己的路行有心。啊，我人性感的平常的我嘛对着，年轻的时候的这个做一下，是的把土地。